Hey guys, Dr. Allyn here. Today we're going to work on our glutes and our hamstrings, the back of our upper legs, and our tush. And I've recorded 4 different strength training workouts that are about 30 minutes in length. I'd like you to have 2 barbells. I have this step stool that I keep in a closet, and I'm going to use it today as a bench. I'm going to put it on my yoga mat. We're going to be using 1 heavy weight. Now, you may want to start with just doing this without any weight or holding a 10-pound weight on your thighs. I also, with heavier weight and with this bench, I'm using 2 pillows. So pillow number 1, I'm going to use it on my bench to support my upper back, which will be there. And pillow number 2, I'm going to use over my hips, and I'm going to put my weight on it, and I'm going to have them rest on my thigh bones, not on my hip bones. All right? So we're going to do what's called a hip thrust. If you have practiced yoga at all, this is the beginning of a bridge pose where you have your body on the ground and then you squeeze your butt and lift your hips off of the ground. But we're going to be off of the ground and using our back to support us on this little fake bench. So let's give it a try. A couple things you want to be mindful of is how you get into it. And honestly, it is not the most graceful thing. So for me, I like to pick up my weight. I put it in front of my pillow and hold it here with my 2 hands to start. And then I'm going to sit onto my pillow here. So what I do is hold on to the weight, keep the pillow on my thighs with the weight, and I'm going to slide my butt off the front of this and feel the step stool supporting my back. And then I'm going to use my elbows on it to scoot my hips forward a little bit more. And I have my upper back on the bench. My rib cage is not fully supported on it, and I'm going to take the weight and put them onto my thighs. I basically push my weight away with my hands. And then you'll notice I'm already in a position that is working my hamstrings and my glutes. This is primarily a gluteus exercise, working on building muscle in the buttocks. What I'd like you to do is keep your chin a little bit in so that your ears, shoulders, and hips are in a line when you're lifted up. Feet are hips distance apart. I go a little bit wider sometimes to hold my weight just in at the inner part of my legs. And then we're going to begin. You're going to inhale, let your hips go down toward the earth. I bent my elbows. I'm holding my weight up off of my stomach, right? And then I'm going to exhale and squeeze my butt up tight. So inhale, 2, 3, exhale, squeeze. Inhale, 2, 3, exhale, squeeze. Good. In, 2, 3, squeeze. In, 2, 3, squeeze. In, 2, 3. You just come up to what feels natural for you. You want to keep reaching the back of the pelvis forward towards your calves when you come up. In, hold your core tight. Exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, squeeze up. Good. 1, 2, 3, and up. I'm kind of focusing on the ceiling with my eyes. Nice work. We're going to do 2 more, which I think will have been about 12. Those of you who have watched my other strength training videos, you know that I don't really count when I'm trying to teach at the same time. So then I sit down on the ground, move my legs away, and let the weight roll to the floor. All my pillows fall off, and I just get, whoops, set up again. So you take a break, and you let your body recover a little bit. All right, so I find my back on my stool. I have my weight cushioned by my pillow. I scoot my hips down, so it's really shoulder blades are supported. My upper back is supported by the stool. My heels, we want them underneath the knees or just a little bit forward away so that we can inhale down and exhale, squeeze the buttocks up. Try to keep length in your lower back by lengthening your tailbone away from your shoulders. In, 2, 3. Core is tight. In 2, 3. That's 3. Slowly release down. Use both feet to push into the earth. Nice job. So you may also hear this exercise called heel digs, and the difference there would be you step your feet out a little further, lift the heels up, and push. But I want you to have the whole foot on the ground at least for the first 12 weeks of doing this exercise. And I do recommend that you work in 12-week cycles so that your body has time to get used to what you're doing. You have time to progress in the amount of weight you're using. I honestly did these 4 weight training exercises that I'm releasing for beginners for the first 2 years of my strength training journey. Last one. All right, our goal is to be doing anywhere from 8 to 12. All right, my loves, let's try one more. Grab your weight. Always do that with your knees instead of your back bent over with straight legs. Set your weight. Find your shoulder blades. We'll call that graceful. And here we go. Get your feet hips distance apart. You want to find that length in your lower back right now, holding your core in for stability. Take a breath in to lower the hips down and exhale up. Try to keep your neck in alignment with your spine so you're not going to let your head drop back like this. Chin in. It's really not a back bend at all. You're just using the bench to create a lever with your hips. Good. Squeeze. Let's say that's 5. 6. Exhaling on the way up because that's the hard part. 7. 8. 9. Squeeze up there for a second to really activate the buttocks muscles. And that's 10. And we're doing 1 for good luck. And then gently lower to the earth. And let your weight gently roll off of you. Good work, babes. Next exercise, we're going to do step ups. So I'm going to clear everything from away from my step, and we're going to use one weight. I'm going to make mine a bit lighter. I'm going to also set my step sideways, and I'll show you why in a moment. So we're working with step ups. It'll work a little bit our glutes, but primarily our hamstrings and our quadriceps. I would recommend that you start maybe with 8 or 10. You could also start this exercise with 0 weight and just give your legs a moment to get used to the movement, the exercise, the balancing on one leg, which you are going to be doing a little bit. So hold your weight in your hand. Let's move this out of the way. Take 2. Bend down, grab your weight, holding it in one hand just at your side. You want to really keep your body upright as much as you can. You'll take one foot, place it on your stool in the middle of it, and then you'll hinge forward just a little bit. You see how I just shifted from having the weight on my standing leg on the floor to being prepared to push my front leg into the ground. I'm going to step up, and I like to bring my foot into the bench, but never on it, just in for balance, and then I touch back down. And you can let your heel go all the way down, but we're not going to stop and rest in the middle. So grab your weight. If you're using any kind of bench, step stool or otherwise, make sure it's on a sticky surface, something that's not going to slip around for your safety. Hold one weight in one hand, the same hand that the leg on the ground, and then you're going to hinge a little forward, put some weight on that front foot, and you'll exhale to push your way up, squeezing the quadricep, the hamstring, and the buttocks. And then keep your core engaged to lightly touch down. I wouldn't go all the way to heel on the floor. Maybe stop right about here, and then we'll push up again. Exhale. Inhale. Try to control your way down. So it's easy to go up, drop, but we're going to go up, down, 2, 3, up, down, 2, and up. Good work. Push the bench down into the earth. Push and squeeze that leg tight. Good. 4 more. 3, 2, one. Right away, switching sides. So I always turn around. Safely switch your hand. Hold onto the weight. Nice firm grip. Set your foot in the middle of your stool. Lean your body forward. Take a breath in to prepare. Using your core, push your leg down. 1, 2. Control your way down. 3, landing softly. 4, 5. Exhale up. 6, 7, 8. Feel your glutes, your hammies. 9 and 10. Nice work. Place your weight down by bending your legs always, and you will notice it feels like we did cardiovascular exercise, which is good. So breathe. Nice long deep breaths. So grab your weight. Side number 2, we're doing 3 sets of 10 of these. Put your foot in the center. It's tempting to put it close to the edge, but that makes it a little less stable. All right, so hinge a little forward, lift that back heel, take a breath in, gather your core, exhale, push that foot down. 1, squeeze your buttocks, your hamstrings. 2, 3, all the way up and squeeze the legs, the buttocks. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Take your time, switch sides, foot in the middle, brace, core, legs, buttocks. Inhale to prep, eyes straight ahead or a little bit down in front of you. Exhale up. 1, 2, use your core. 3, 4, and you might notice that one leg is weaker. You feel a little more wobbly. So just pay attention more on that side. 7, core engaged. Squeeze the buttocks. 9 and 10. Good job. Last set, step ups. Hold your weight, foot in the middle. Find your gaze, brace. Inhale deeply, a little bit forward, exhale, come up. That's 1, 2, slowly down. 3, really gentle landing. 4, squeeze the buttocks. 5, 6, 7, core tight. 8, 9, and 10. Amazing. Other side. So a nice flow in your pace. Now, inhale to prep. Here we go. 1, 2. See, I lose my balance on the way down here. 3. So I'll go a little slower. Squeeze the butt. Keep the core tight. 4, 5, 6, 7. Sometimes I use my hand on the muscle I'm working. 8, and I can really feel the glutes activating. 1 more. I think we did 12, but that's okay. Give yourself a moment, allow yourself to breathe. Feel your whole body, your whole being strengthening. Stronger mental attitude, stronger belief in yourself, stronger physical body. Next, we're going to do kickbacks with a band. And for this, I like to use a band that was a straight line, and I tied it, as you can see right here. And I make it into a double loop. We're going to be working, again, hamstrings and buttocks. I'm going to do it with this little bench, but usually, honestly, I do this with one hand on my couch or on a bench. So you do whatever you can. This is a little bit low, but because I'm short, it's fine. You could use the seat of a chair, which would probably be about this height. So if you're brand new to doing this exercise, you might start with your foot on the ground on a paper towel, or I have a dish towel, and I'm going to let my foot slide across the wooden floor. If I tried to do this on the sticky mat, you'll see it's not going anywhere. So you want it to be one foot stabilized on a sticky something, a surface, and the other foot can slide back and forth along the wood. So what I do is I'm going to put both feet inside the strap. I'm going to start with my right foot as the stabilizing foot, and my left foot, I'm going to bring the strap to the arch of my foot, the heel, the arch. Big toe and all the toes are on the floor, and I'm going to have my hands on my bench or the seat of my chair, whatever I choose. And so I'm going to just push straight back and then slowly let my leg glide forward. So if I'm not working my leg, it's going to shoot back like this. So you exhale, push. You're really squeezing with the back of the leg. Engage your core. And then slowly, still using the muscles, come back until there's not much weight on the band. Exhale, inhale. So that's one way to do it. I personally bring my right foot further back. I have my left foot up in the air, and I push the band back in a straight line, kind of. Not high, but straight back. So let's just begin looking down at your hands or a little bit in front of them on the floor. Take a breath in. Try to hug your outer upper thighs in toward each other, and exhale, push back. 1, use your core strength. 2, stabilize. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to do 15, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So now other foot, I just moved the standing leg. Now I have the band around the ankle, hands are on my bench, the other foot, the arch is in, and I'm going to take a breath in, engage my core, and exhale, push the foot back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling on the effort. 13, 14, 15, and release. Sometimes I take the band all the way off and walk around a little, and let my hips rock side to side. Resting long enough that you catch your breath and you feel like really ready to start the next one. Okay, so now, right leg, it's around the ankle. Left foot has the band on it. I'm gonna hop my foot back. Feel my hands grounded. Take my upper outer thighs, hug in, lift my navel up, and keep that brace. Inhale to prep, exhale to push. Controlling the way back in as well as the push out. Just like we do with weights. You push, 2, 3, and push, 2, 3, and good. I'm going to do one more and call it 15, and switch sides. All right, guys. Before you start, check in with all of your parts. Hands are grounded, back leg is ready, my core is engaged, upper outer thighs hugging in, which helps me to keep my hips from doing this turned out thing. When I hug my upper outer thighs in, I can rotate that lifted leg, inner thigh, backward and have a neutral hip. Take a breath in to prep, exhale, push. Kick back, kick back. 5 more. 1, 2, 3. Bracing, core in. Last one. Good work. All right, I'm letting the strap go. Taking a little break. Check in with your lower back. Ask yourself, is there anything you can do to support it? And a lot of times with this kind of single leg work, what we want to do, I'm talking about upper outer thighs hugging in. So you're taking your thigh bones and trying to squeeze closer together. It's going to create more space in your sacrum area here instead of rotating out and getting a little pinch here. So I do that for me, as well as taking my abdominal muscles that are in between my two hip bones and really pulling in and up and keeping my front ribs not splayed open, but hugging in and down. So all of this is tight. Last one on each leg. Outer thighs hugging in, core braced, looking straight down or a little forward. Inhale, prep. Exhale, effort. Other side. Last set. Inhale, prep. Make sure you're bracing. Nice tight core. 1, 2. Last one. And we're done. Let that go. Shake it out. Sip some water if you need. Our last exercise for our legs in this set is a single leg Romanian deadlift, RDL, you'll hear it called. And this is kind of a hard exercise, so I'm going to give you a couple of options. Option number 1. So I like to start with one weight. It's not the heaviest weight that I use because we have one leg working only. We are working on our hamstring and our glutes again. So I'm going to take the leg that is going to be lifted behind me, and that's the same arm that I'm holding the weight with on this one. So I'm going to have you start by keeping the toes of the back leg down like a kickstand. You might choose to have a slight bend in both knees. I'm going to ask you to brace your core tight and feel your buttocks and hamstrings really engaged. You'll take an inhale here, and just like we would in a two-leg Romanian deadlift, you're going to hinge your hips backward, and the weight stays close to your front standing leg, and then we're going to exhale coming up and really squeezing the glutes tight. So inhale straight back, exhale come up. Your hips go back, and then they squeeze in. Core tight, hips back, squeeze in. My back leg has a little weight on it, but not a lot. It's just there for balance right now. So that as I progress, which is what we're doing, a progressive type of training where you want to get stronger, at some point you'll be able to lift the back leg up and come back to this position. And this is the single leg RDL or kickstand RDL. So I'm going to just do 2 more because I've done a lot. And let's call that side 1. It's okay, we had a rehearsal. Switch hands, switch standing legs. So weight is primarily on the front leg. Bend the knees a little bit for stability. Activate your core. Hold that work and keep focusing on the standing leg buttocks. The foot behind you is light and it's just for balance. Inhale, come straight down, hinging your hips back and squeezing your hips forward to come up. That's 2, 3, 4, straight spine, core tight, 5, 6, here's the modification, 7, 8, we're going to do 12, 9, 10, 11, when I get tired, 12, sometimes I need to do the kickstand version. And you know what? Glad I know it. I use it. And you can do the same. Catch your breath, take a break, All right, you ready? Left leg front, weight is in the right hand, right leg is back, either lifting off the ground or staying in kickstand. Start with a little teeny bend, and then we're not bending the legs any amount more, we're just hinging at the hips. Hips move back, and then they squeeze forward. All right, here we go. Inhale, prep, and lift, and exhale, stand up. I look forward on the floor about 3 to 5 feet. I usually take my standing leg arm out to the side for balance. You're going to just beneath the knee of the front leg. One more. Good. And then switch sides. Find your core, bend your knees, straight spine. Keep the weight close to your leg. Here we go. Inhale, exhale. Keep your core tight. Notice I'm getting sloppy, so I'm putting my foot down to just get my center. One more. Nice job. Good work. We have one more set. We're doing 3 sets of 12 for this. You might start with 3 sets of 10, might go up to 12, and then you might choose to go up in weight and go back to 8 or 10. Build up to 12. That's when you know you're ready for more weight. 1 sip of water, and then we'll continue finishing off our exercise. Here we go. Bracing, bending, core. Mindfulness. My mind has a muscle connection. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to do 10. If you need 2 more, do 2 more, but it feels like plenty for me right now. Last side, bracing legs, buttocks, and belly tight. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Yay! We'll be doing our core finisher, which will be reverse crunches. So you'll start by placing your weight by the back of your area. Your arms will hold on to it and lie on your back with your legs bent. Okay, so hands are on your weights. I usually bring my elbows up just because it feels comfortable to me. I'm going to take my legs and bring the knees up, and we're going to basically brace the core, so pulling the navel down toward the earth, front ribs also hugging down. They're really going to want to splay open in this one, so really try to keep them pulled together as much as possible. You're going to bring your toes to touch the earth, and then exhale, pull knees in, and try and touch your elbows. So you notice the backs of my hips come off the ground a little bit. Exhale. Inhale. I have my knees apart as much as my elbows. Hips and shoulders distance. Another way to do this, depending on what feels best to you, is touching heels, pulling in, or touching heels and lifting toward the sky. That's a little bit more advanced, but do what feels right in your body. And you see why having this bit of weight to hold the torso down is helpful. Core in tight. Keep the low back flat. Focusing on the low belly primarily. And we're doing 15, 12 or 15. And let's call that done. Set 1. 3 sets of those, and you're done with your workout. This is one of my favorite things to do after doing low core, is to just let the knees windshield wiper a little to the right, feet are on the mat the whole time, little left. And it just releases my low back. And then when I'm ready, next one, here we go. So I bring legs up. Before I begin, mindfully engage my core. Feel my lower back press into the earth. Take a breath in, extend a little, and exhale, pull in. Good, let's do it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't let the core go at all. Tight. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can stop there. Or 15. Good job, guys. Give your belly a little love. Sometimes I tap it out. Sometimes I just put my hands there. Okay, last one. Here we go. Inhale. And exhale in. If it hurts your lower back, you can just stop here. Lift and control the way down. Don't push yourself past where you are today. Allow yourself to naturally progress by being consistent. You do one at least core exercise with each of your 4 workouts. 3 sets, 10 to 15, and trust you're going to get stronger. Good work. You did it. Allow yourself to rest a little bit if you want. Sip some water for sure. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I love you, and I'll see you soon.